love it.
Visualization.
The power of visualization. And he doesn't know me like that I would be able to do this stuff. So I want to just encourage you guys, don't give up on dreams and believing, because there's a scripture that we talked about on Sunday, which says, Beloved, I wish above all else that you prosper and are in good health, even as your soul prospers. That means you only grow to the level of your mind. You will only prosper to the level that your mind permits you or restricts you. Okay, and I really want you to think about that. So this is super exciting for me. It's a good start because I feel like we got to get this out to more people. The messages that each of us have as a treasure within us. Beautiful. So, guys, I want you to get some writing material, and whether it's on your electronics side of things, or if it's on paper and pen, just to write some notes down, get some thoughts down. I want to talk about defining who you are from your purpose and legacy. And again, super excited that we're all part of this Builders and Founders program. I have a great excitement about where this is going to take us. Imagine in a couple of years' time, 3, 4 years, 5 years' time, 5,000 plus people around the world getting into this position, in this academy, and you guys are going to be part of that. Super excited and proud of my son Josiah helping Emolium as well, getting your slides done, Emmy. That was excellent as well. So, as always, disclaimer that I'm not giving you any advice financially. Can't give you that. I'm not a professional financial advisor in any way, shape, or form. But anything I'm telling you is just my stories, and results depend upon your efforts and circumstances. Okay, just making sure that even after we do this, we're going to be talking about crypto. Again, it's not financial advice. It's just ideas, thoughts. But we want to see all of you grow. All right. But it is important to know your disclaimers, and please get professional help and get advice as you need. Okay? Hand on your heart. Say this out aloud so you scare yourself. I am greatly blessed, highly favored, greatly blessed, and deeply loved. Come on, say that again so you believe it, right? I am highly favored, greatly blessed, deeply loved. Got to say it one more time. I am highly favored, greatly blessed, and deeply loved. And whenever someone asks me how I am, I always say this, and I say it long enough, and I've said it long enough now to live from that position. And those who know me start maybe recognizing that things are, I come back with a different attitude and different way of saying things now, because I'm feeling greatly blessed and highly favored and deeply loved no matter what. I want to talk tonight about the mindset of wealth habits. I want to welcome Jiggy James. Good to see our leader from Sri Lanka on as well. Welcome. And I want to look at it from lessons from the Bible. Whether you believe in the Bible or not is not a problem. I just want to look at the lessons from it because it has a very wise conversation that has been really helpful to me. And the lesson I want to talk about is the parable of the talents that you guys have heard lots about in the past. Now, interesting conversation. Maybe a sidetrack to this is I did not realize that Jesus talked most of his sermons and most of his parables was about wealth. Did others know about this? And I didn't know about this for decades. It was only recently, a couple of decades ago, that I began to realize that most of Jesus' parables were about money, and he doesn't have a problem with money. But we have been taught that we can't be helping others and also be fully rich, and that's not true. All right, so these are one of his parables, and I love the fact that I want you to take note of the words business and multiplication and talents and abilities, because oftentimes this has been spoken from a position of your special things that you are good at doing. But I want to talk from a business point of view. I want to talk about it from a wealth creation point of view. I'm just going to go to the actual scripture and let's read that out. Perhaps I could just ask two people to read this, or 5 verses each. So we just have context around this parable, and then we'll just share. Just want to share 5 points on it, and then we'll open it up for some discussion. So maybe 2 or 3 people read 5 verses each. Who would like to start? Just unmute yourself, and from 14 to.
I can start.
Thank you. 14 to 19.
Okay, next.
Okay. For it will be like a man going on a journey who called his servants and entrusted to them his property. To one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to another 1, to each according to his ability. Then he went away. He who had received the 5 talents went at once and traded with them, and he made 5 talents more. So also he who had the 2 talents made 2 talents more. But he who had received the 1 talent went and dug in the ground and hid his master's money. Now, after a long time, the master of those servants came and settled accounts with them. And he who had received the 5 talents came forward, bringing 5 talents more, saying, Master, you delivered to me 5 talents. Here I have made 5 talents more. His master said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little, I will set you over much. Enter into the joy of your master. So is the next person going now?
Yeah, I think Emmy was going to read the next slot. She's ready to go.
Yep.
Thank you.
22.
Yes.
It says, and he also who had the 2 talents came forward, saying, Master, you delivered to me 2 talents. Here I have made 2 talents more. 23. His master said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little. I will set you over much. Enter into the joy of your master. 24. He also who had received the 1 talent came forward, saying, Master, I know you to be a hard man, reaping where you did not sow, and gathering where you scattered no seed. 25. So I was afraid, and I went and hid your talent in the ground. Here you have what is yours. 26. But his master answered him, You wicked and slothful servant. You knew that I reap where I have not sown, and gathered where I scattered no seed. Do you want me to go on? Or
Yeah, finish it off. Thank you.
okay. 27. Then you ought to have invested my money with the bankers, and at my coming I should have received what was my own with interest. 28. So take the talent from him and give it to him who has the 10 talents. 29. For to everyone who has will more to be given, and he will have an abundance. But from the one who has not, even what he has will be taken away. 30. And cast the worthless servant into the outer darkness. In that place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Beautiful. Thank you, Emmy. That's great to read. So, just thoughts on what can we glean from this parable, and I wanted to share with you some 5 things. And again, hopefully that'll help you in your journey of wealth creation as well. Let's pull from some wisdom of the ages. First thing is, God entrusts you according to your capacity. So, hearing all these different stories from the time when with Nathan, with April, with Lance, with Aranka, with Emmy, hearing some of the stuff that's been happening today. The journey has been exciting. Everyone's at a different capacity, right? Different level, different opportunity. And I want to encourage you that it's when those talents were given, it was at their level and capacity. So to one he gave 5, to another 2, and to another 1. Okay, we've all been born with a level of stuff that we can do and a capacity in which we can hold it. So what's the lesson? We're all entrusted with different levels of resources. Now you all have different resources, but you have been entrusted. Does that make sense? So when Lance came to me and said, "Bro, what do you think? I don't know about." I go, "Bro, this is it, right? Do it because it's in your heart. You can feel it. You can sense it." The no titles just absolutely aligns with everything that is you and what you've been through and the journey you've gone through. we've all been entrusted with different levels of resources. Like I love Hiromi on Sunday brought an amazing painting, and just like 6 months prior was like, I can't do this, but I have this feeling, I sense I love doing this sort of stuff, but I can't. I went for lessons, and as she's been going for classes, some amazing stuff coming out of it, right? So each of us have been entrusted with different levels of resources. The mindset and attitude we carry is not about comparison, but about faithful stewardship of what we have. Okay? And that's really important to think about. What am I carrying? Right? Now, in the past, I can remember, I don't know if anyone else can identify with this, but in the past, I'm a person who has so many ideas coming into my mind. If anyone else like that, pop a yes into the chat group. I literally used to have 100 business ideas coming in a day in my mind. And so I thought I had to do all of them. And actually, I didn't have to. And in the past, if I heard of Lance doing the podcast, I'd be like, oh, I need to learn how to do that as well. I need to get better at it, because it's not, I need to also learn how to do this. Rather than what I love, what Margaret just said. Hey, I need to get some message out. I can see it being done in two, as a group, as a team, and I don't know how it's going to be done, but I know I've got to get this out. And podcasting is the medium, right? So some might be called to create the podcast, some might be called to create the content, some might be called for both. What are you called for? Okay, and steward what you've been called for. So I want you to write an answer to this question. Again, don't write a paragraph, don't write a story, just some points, just some thoughts coming out. What do you have in your hand right now to steward to create enormous wealth? So not just little wealth, enormous wealth. Like if Aranka, for example, just as an example, could have one tenant come in to produce some income for her. Question is, could she take 3 or 4 more properties? And she go, first thing in mind is like, no, I can't afford it. But I took 15 properties that I subleased, and I was creating about $30,000 a month income, right? Now, I'm talking about what can you do to create enormous wealth. And now, I know that we can't do 6 or 7 different things, or even 3 things at the same time if you want to create enormous wealth. What's the one thing we want to create? For me, it's the memberships. And I'm looking at the fact that if we can create that, when we get the formula to create, after we get our builders in and we got the first 50 and then the 100, we're going to go out to 5,000 members. Now I want someone to work out. I want you guys to get a gist of how money works and to think big. Okay? I want you to get calculate out and tell me $20 memberships, $30 membership. We're going to move, the membership's going to go up. The ones who are here, lifetime membership, $20 a month. $30 membership times 5,000 members. Could someone write in the chat group what that is a month? And again, I'm just giving an example because I want you to calculate it. 30, that's $150,000 a month.
Yep.
How does that, do I need $150,000 a month? No. Who wants to join me and get this 5,000 memberships happening? Because you're going to get paid too. Right? Thank you. Got 1 or 2, right? I'm serious, guys. Can you just imagine? This is what the Academy does, right? We're together. We create 5,000 members. We are all working together as staff, as people who are admin. And even if we had 5 people who are ready to volunteer, like 5 of us, 5 months worth of salary goes to each of us, $150,000. How many of you would be happy with $150,000 for the year? Right, 5 months could cover that.
Yes.
Yeah. How exciting, right? You're getting the idea, but then I have a vision. Do I have the capacity? So I am big on giving value that is much more than what someone pays for. So would someone pay $30 a month for the value we're giving? Well, I believe so. Would they pay $50 a month? And we have an app, and we have courses that can come into, and we have this training, and you guys will be part of the training, right? Now, if it's $50 a month, 5,000 people, someone tell me how much that is. And why am I getting you to do this? Because I want you to start thinking about your ideas or be part of this journey as well and get excited about it. $50 a month, and there's 5,000 And by the way, your memberships do not change. You will always be paying 20,000 for life. 20,000, sorry, $20.
20.
How much fun is that? So how much is
No,
$50?
sounds like the wrong thing, my friend.
Yeah.
20,000.
So $50 a month. Do you think this is valuable? $50 a month, the amount of training that we do. So for those who've been on so far, okay. So would they be willing to pay $50 a month? And how much $50 times 5,000? How much are we going to make a month? Come on, somebody, pop it in the chat group. $250,000, $250,000. Now, how many of you? Some of you just said, look, and seriously, those who put their hands up, come talk to me. I am seriously looking at how we can put this out and make a difference. But let me ask you a question. Once I found the formula of all of this, and we're working this out, because it starts with a vision, right? It starts with a dream. Henry Ford, I was listening the other day about him, and they said, we can't create a V6 engine. There is no such thing. It's impossible. He goes, keep working at it. It can't be done. It's not possible. Keep working at it. Yeah, this is not, you're just dreaming. Keep working at it. I mean, V6 is history now. Like the stuff that engines are made of now are so much more different, right? But he did not give up. He had a vision. Elon Musk said every time the rockets took off, and everyone laughed at him for his rockets taking off and crashing to the ground. And he said, well, that's another part of success. Because every failure leads me to a better success. Who looked at recently Aussie Home? They launched a rocket for the first time. It lasted 30 seconds in the air, fell. Everyone's laughing, and as we Aussies like to do, we heckle at everyone. But you know what? The guy said, I loved it. He goes, well, we've learned something new today. We lasted 30 seconds. Let's keep going. We try it again, right? I loved it. Without vision, we perish. Now, let me ask you a question. If we learn how to do this, why can't you start doing memberships for those of you who are podcasters, for those of you who have ideas in your heart? Why can't you? And you'd have a ready-made audience, and you can create your own membership. Is that true? Right? I mean, how many people have Netflix and have Stan at the same time and have Amazon Prime, right? They have more than one subscription, multiple subscriptions. Okay. Are you helping people? Yes. Is adding value? Excellent. What do you have in your hand right now to steward to create enormous income? Put a yes in the chat group, triple yes, if you have an enormous idea right now. Don't be scared by how scary it is, but it needs to be enormous enough to scare you. Okay, beautiful. We got M, we got Lance. Who's got an enormous idea? It's like, man, this thing is off the charts. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, but I've got an imagination for it. Amazing. Patrick, yes. Rubika, yes. April, yes. I love it. See, guys, you're in the right place. You're in the right space. Yeah? And remember, I'm all about practical. It takes time because I'm changing your minds. As I said, 2 to 5 years to change our mindsets. Okay? So you got an enormous amount of wealth, not just a little bit. I'm talking about enormous, right? Now, I've been studying Forex and crypto, and Forex isn't going to make me enormous wealth because I am not as dedicated as some of these other guys. So I'm going to get some traders, and I'm going to start creating wealth that's going to help those who want to invest. But the memberships, the academy is enormous. I've had Capture Your Purpose for over 20 years, and making it into an academy, suddenly the lights came on and said, businesses start and stop, but academies last forever. I mean, that makes sense. Training, multiplying. And guess what? If we all get to be a part of this, what an exciting blessing it is. All right, number 2, multiplication is the goal. So from the story of the talents, multiplication is the goal. All right. So this says the servants who multiplied what they were given were praised. What's the lesson? Wealth creation starts with a mindset of increase and responsibility, not just preservation. So I want you to think about how do you multiply, not just create percentages as return of investment. So if I go back to the idea I gave about Aranka having multiple properties, it's just going to multiply what she's already learned in the first property, right? So it's not going to take, if she has 5 properties, it's not going to take 5 times the time. It's going to take a smaller percentage of the time, but give her 5 times more return. How exciting is that? You get what I mean? But if you have to work more hours, if you say, I've got to work 3 jobs, that's taking up 3 times your time and transportation in between and rest and trying to recuperate. You see the difference? Okay? Whether we have 5 people on here today or 25,000 people listening to this, the content is still going to be the same. But I've multiplied it now. Okay, and you were created and designed to multiply. Don't think about percentages, think about multiplication. So find ways to multiply, not just create percentages as return on investment. I want you to think about this, and I want you to go and do this. Maybe just, draw a little spreadsheet on this, but spreadsheet ideas that can multiply your income and grow exponentially through a well-crafted system. What do I mean by that? Well, let's use the academy again. Imagine when new people come in, like you are our test cases. That's why you have me that the others will not have. Because once I get to 1,000 people or even 200 people, I can't do one-to-ones like I did an hour with Aranka and a few others. I did time with them and spent. I can't do that with everyone, right? But each of you could do with a few people. But what if they had me on an app? What if they, when they joined the membership, chose and said, I want to learn about purpose, and then they go to the app and they choose that course. I want to learn about how to create income with little or no capital. They go to that course. I want to learn how to podcast. They go to the course by Lance Brown. I want to learn how to import and export from another country. I'm believing, Joyce, that's you. More other things, or maybe other things. And they go to Joyce and they receive that. Now, do any of you have to physically be there to teach them? No, it's recorded. It's multiplication. What if every time they played your teaching, you get paid a royalty? Okay, these are possible. They go to Margaret, and I can't wait for her to talk about hormones and how it affects not just women but men, and how we need to be aware of it, and how it can affect our moods, and it can affect so many things that we have attributed to sickness or something else. And every time Margaret puts out her wisdom and someone's listening to it and it's taken somewhere, and maybe out of that a book comes, and out of that and you get discovered. What is it that you can spreadsheet that can multiply your income and grow exponentially through a well-crafted system? A system that works. When I had 15 properties and I was subleasing back early days, I'm the founder of subleasing properties and rooming houses because I had so much come against me in those days, and now it's become a norm. And it was so exciting starting back in 1999, 2000 time. But I created a system, and I didn't have WhatsApp then. We didn't have Facebook. We didn't have all those lovely things. I would literally be going every day into the universities and popping up ads. We had a little website, and my website was called roomtorent.com, and it became so popular over the 10-year period I ran. But it was a system. I systemized everything. And so I only had to work 15 to 20 hours a week. Who else would be happy to work 15 to 20 hours a week to earn 30,000 income, right? Now, it's possible, but I thought it was too much, and I won't do it again. Someone asked me, would you do it again? Nah, I've got better systems in place now that can run. But is this making sense to anyone? If it's not making sense, I want you to take it in and do research. Ask your friend ChatGPT to help you as well. I want you to spreadsheet if you're serious about this stuff. Even Jiggy with your dancing school, you can do this as well. This is going to be exciting. What is the way that you can spreadsheet ideas that can multiply your income and grow exponentially? So as more people add on, you're not adding more work to yourself. Right? Is this making sense? All right, pop a 555 in the chat group if this is making sense and I'm not over the top of your head, okay? The third lesson that I want to learn. So just 5 things I want to share. This is where after you have big vision, you spreadsheet this and the money looks amazing and the wealth looks amazing. What happens? Fear blocks wealth habits. The servant with 1 talent said, I was afraid and hid your talent. Right? How many of you can agree that fear can come in and creeps in? I mean, big yes for me. All right. There are times when I'm building this new arena for me on memberships because, there are so many coaches out there that tell me that I can just do it by going to social media and promoting stuff, and I said, it'll lose the personal touch, and I don't want to lose it. I'm going to find a system that will still stay personal. Okay? But fear blocks wealth habits. And I want you to keep that in your mind. So the lesson: fear of failure, judgment, or scarcity leads to inaction or procrastination. But a kingdom mindset involves courage and faithfulness. And I want you to think about it from this point of view. If you were designed with these talents to build capacity in, and the very fact that you have these ideas that are moving in your mind, the very fact you have these thoughts, like Mama Carol, man, where do you even start with Mom Carol? She Aurelio's 70th birthday, for those who were there, she spontaneously came up and sang him a birthday song. Right, Mom Carol, you didn't write that down, did you? You didn't write the words down beforehand. You just came up and sang him a song. And that was amazing. All right, and towards the end we were all singing Aurelio. Right? And it was amazing. Now, songwriter, how many of you have tasted her chili? Her chili is amazing. All right? I get people come home and go, yeah, that food was nice, but when Razan's cooking her amazing nutritional food, that food is nice, but I need some chili. Oh, here's Mom's Carol's special chili. Don't know if it's guaranteed to be nutritious, but it's nutritionally tasty, right? And it's amazing. Mom Carol, just the other day, Teresa came home and she saw your books, your children's books that you've published and that put at our home church. It's like, where do you stop? Now, how can we move to a place where this can, like Mom Carol's being faithful in doing what she's talented with, how do we move it to a space where it begins to exponentially grow? Find the one thing and grow it. And when you can do it with one, you can do it with many ideas. What is the biggest fear that is stopping your multiplication growth right now? I want you to write that down. Now, this is really important, because the first two questions were all about, what's an idea you can get enormous wealth from? What spreadsheet your multiplication factors? What is the biggest fear that is stopping your multiplication growth right now? And if you want to write it in the chat group, you can. You don't have to, but you're welcome to share it. The biggest fear. And for some, it might be, hey, I've got to pay off my debts first. I got so many things I can't do it. Hey, you got to listen to my soon-to-arrive coaching program on how to create business without capital. Buy the book. Okay, I've taught it for 17 years. It's possible. I do it myself. The membership program was started without capital. Can you imagine building a $250,000 plus a month income, $250,000? And if someone asked me, how much did you put to start it? It was $0. I used the talent I had, I used the abilities I had, and I started it with nothing. Not because I didn't have nothing to start with, but because I am a tremendous believer on starting things with little to no capital. Because the risk then is low. All that took was my time, doing a lot of research, understanding the stuff, and then moving it forward. So what is your biggest fear that is stopping your multiplication growth right now? The master says, number 4, diligence and initiative are rewarded. Okay, the 4th principle. So there's 5 things I want to share today. The master says, well done, good and faithful servant. So what's the lesson? God celebrates faithfulness and fruitfulness. This story shows a culture of reward, increase, and responsibility. I think that's a really important thought process for us, to create a culture that is all about faithfulness and fruitfulness. I'm faithful to this and I'm expecting fruit. Don't be faithful to things that don't create fruit. Okay? Because sometimes we are caught in the traditions of being faithful to something, but there's no fruit in it. Does it make sense? Okay? We're faithful to work, to making our bosses richer than us, but is there fruitfulness in it when it comes to our retirement or when it comes to our dreams and our ideas? And so you give the best part of your life and your journey to making someone else rich. How many of you would agree with that? Right? And that's the reality. Why don't you make it for yourself? Because fear stops us and we don't recognize the potential we have. And it's time to change that around. And it's never too late to start. What are you celebrating today as a huge win to take your giant step forward? Now, I want you to change gears, because the first few months that we started this program, we went on a slower pace. But I want to change gears now and say, what is the massive step I need to take or I have taken and I'm celebrating today? And I want you to write that down. What are you celebrating today as a huge win to take your giant step forward? I mean, certainly getting that call from April, getting that call from you last week, we had a chat. And the opportunity that presented itself in that, to me, was a huge celebration step. And I loved it. I loved just having that conversation with you. Aranka, when you said I've got my tenant, like, to me that was a huge celebration step, because it was like I saw the resistance, I saw the unsurety, I saw the memories of what had happened in the past, that, oh, is this really what I want to do? And then recognizing, hey, I've been talking about creating wealth and I've got something in my hand, and it's not going to cost me anything except taking a few pictures and putting something up on the top, and boom, look at what I've got. And that's amazing. Okay, last slide. The wealth principle: use it or lose it. Take the one talent and give it to the one with 10. Interesting in the Bible, that that part of the parable. So God's systems of increase is not socialism, it's stewardship. He promotes those who are productive. So as Papa Luke often says, don't be successful on the wrong assignment. Okay. I remember when I first started using public transport. I was a youngin', and I think I was in high school. So Lance, you'd have probably known me at this point. And I was so excited one day getting on the bus that said Monash University via Lilydale, because I need to go to Monash to check out about Monash. So I'm on the bus and I'm all excited, and I've been told by people, we didn't have GPS in those days, you didn't have your smartphones or anything. So look, 15 minutes down the road, you're 20 minutes max, you're at Monash University from Police Road, right, where Wellington is. So I'm on the bus and I'm sitting, and we're going to Waverley Gardens, and then we go further down, and I'm like, 20 minutes on, it feels like this is an area I've never been to before, can't see this whole place. 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and I'm like, man, what's going on here? And the bus said Monash University via Lilydale, so it must be, Monash. And so finally, an hour or something later, we reach some place and the bus stops there, and I go up to the bus driver. I finally pick up the courage by the bus driver and go, is this Monash University? And he looks like, I go, what? And then he goes, no, mate, it's Lilydale. It's Lilydale Station. We're going back to Monash after this. And I'm like, wow. Right bus, wrong direction. Anyone been on that journey? Don't be successful on the wrong bus. All right. Because I got in the bus, I got the ticket, I did everything that looked successful, and I'm patting myself. So I ended up coming past Police Road, never went to Monash, got out of the bus, and you don't have mobiles. Mom was a bit worried, because what was meant to take a couple of hours took about 3-4 hours, and she goes, how was Monash? What happened? How come you took so long? So I didn't go to Monash. I went to Lilydale. What bus did you take? I said, well, it said Monash University on it. Right? Lesson learned. Okay. Beautiful. He promotes those who are productive. Be productive in the right place. Do you remember a time where you were promoted in a job, well done, and given a greater increase of wealth? So not just tapped on the back in your job or in your career or in an opportunity in your business, but actually promoted with increase of wealth. And if you do, I want you to think about it and write it down. Were you given a bonus? Were you given a holiday? Were you given an opportunity? I remember last year we traveled. Every month I was traveling to a country, and half of my travel was paid for. And I was questioned by the government on it and said, how can someone pay for your travel? I said, well, I'm being promoted. And I went to Dubai, paid for all expenses. Dallas, all expenses paid for. China, all expenses paid for. 3 trips, and one of the trips I got to take my wife as well, and one of the trips we got to upgrade to almost business class, and it was an amazing time. Oh, actually, China I got to upgrade to business class as well. If you're faithful in the stuff that you do, then more amazing things are going to happen in the stuff that God has for you. But you've got to be faithful in things that the big vision that you feel is so big it's impossible, you can do it. We're all here together. So what's the lesson? What are the habits we can learn? Number 1 is stewardship. Shift your mind from it's not mine, but it's my responsibility. Okay? The other wealth habit I want you to think about is multiplication. And the mind shift there is, I must grow what I've been given. I must grow what I've been given. In Genesis 1:28, God said, go forth and multiply, be fruitful. So it's not just a inheritance you have or a special gifting you have, it's a responsibility. And you owe it to the world and to yourself to live out the best version of yourself. And here's the story, it's done in the rest. There was an interesting thing we read in the scripture where it said, where the servant who was slothful and wicked and lazy, because he went and hid it in the ground, said, I know you are a man who reaps where you have not sown. Wow. Everything done in the rest, in peace, not in stress. If you've done business in stress before, if you've done investments in stress before, I had someone just today was talking about their crypto and they didn't go well and they were like getting upset. And I just wrote to them and said, look, this maybe crypto is not for you. Maybe that's not your journey, and it's okay. So FOMO kicked in for him and he said, no, I want to be part of that. I said, well, then take time to learn it, because otherwise you're risking and you're gambling, and gambling is not good. 3, risk taking in faith. Your mind shift. I can step out boldly with what I have. I can step out boldly with what I have. Is that speaking to someone today? Okay, I can step out boldly with what I have. Next, diligence. Consistent efforts lead to increase. Like, this is your mind shift. Consistent efforts lead to increase. Like, if I'm going to walk 50K with a 10K weight on my body in October, I'm going to have consistent journey of learning how to walk those distances, right? So that's going to be interesting, but it's possible. I remember we did a 10K run with Aurelio, and I think Hiromi, Gertrude, myself. I think Gertrude and I were the only ones who ran the whole distance, but Margaret came, Hiromi was there, Ross was there, Emmy was there. Who else came for that run? It was amazing. We had about 20, 30 people that came for the 10K at Listerfield. Now, 5 times more. Whew. Lastly, vision. I invest today with the future in mind. Joyce, can I share your vagabond story? Or can you share it? Because I look at vision and I think of you. I look at this statement, I invest today with the future in mind.
Go ahead.
You go ahead.
No, you go
Nah, it's
ahead.
all yours, girl. You go ahead. You unmute it and share. Because I think
Oh, well.
it'll help others, and it'll also be something you can articulate with you.
So you want me to share the dream?
Yeah,
The whisper.
to whatever level you want to share it.
Again, I think the learning point here is mindset.
Hmm.
And my mindset was stuck on, so this is what happened. I was asking God, I was meditating very hard day in, day out, trying to understand. And I told God, God, what is the spirit behind our family? What do you have to say about it? And so one thing I'm very sure, it wasn't a dream. It was about 6 a.m., 6:04, thereabout, just coming to 6 something. And a whisper, very clear, said vagabond spirit. That word I had not heard before. Very precise. I know it was not my head. It was not a song that I'd been listening to playing. So it had been in my heart weighing very heavily, and I've been thinking all along that I need to exercise some spirit of the vagabond spirit in my family, done research, what have you. Mama, Mina, wait. Food is ready. Okay, thank you. I'll be done. Sorry, food is ready. So it had been haunting me, I don't understand what is happening. And so I shared this with Brother Ruben, and he's the one who set my mind at peace by just giving me um a different direction. And then, Ruben, what did you tell me?
I told you that about Abraham, that Abraham was also a vagabond who had the greatest vision that now blessed all of us, and that your whisper of a vagabond spirit is actually a very positive thing, because you are breaking into a new journey for your generations.
Amen. Thank you. This is for you.
And I love that Mila is here. Hello, Mila. Make sure you eat something for me too.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing that, Joyce. And how does that make you feel right now when you think about that?
Honestly, I was set at peace. I was troubled for a very long time, and this is from 2021 until just what? A few weeks ago when you set my mind at peace, right?
Yes. Wow, that was 2021. That's a while
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah. So knowing, oh, I've never exorcised the demon of the vagabond spirit. Terrible. Terrible place.
You've embraced the vagabond spirit now, rather than seeing it as a demon. It's part of your calling.
Yeah, changing the narrative.
Exactly. And that is perfect, changing the narrative. And that's what I want you guys to think about here with the mind shift. It's not mine, but I'm responsible. I must grow what I've been given. I can step out boldly with what I have. Consistent efforts lead to increase. I invest today with the future in mind. I want to finish off with this three questions for you to think about. What kind of talents has God entrusted you with in this season? Because remember, things are seasons. You're good at this one, you get another set of talents, another set of abilities, another set of things to do. But each time you also grow in your authority, your ability to create, to draw people in, and have influence over people and over things and systems. Right? Have you ever had favor in places that others don't have? Like, I'm just remembering the gym, when I had we were going through some really big struggles, but I needed to go to the gym to clear my mind and just be there. And I was feeling like, do I really want to spend money on the gym? It's not cheap. It was like $24 a week. And I went in and I negotiated and I just asked what the offers were, and I ended up getting out of 6 months, 4 months free. I thought, wow, you have favor. Favor comes when you're starting to push into certain things. Which wealth habit from today challenges you the most? How can you apply the principle of multiplication this week in money, time, or opportunities? Okay, so I want you to think about these questions. Could someone maybe take a screenshot, pop it into our inner circle group before I stop the sharing? I want to open it for 5 minutes to anyone who wants to have a response to what we've just talked about, 5-10 minutes, and then anyone who wants to stay on, we'll do a little bit on crypto. I recognize that it's 90 minutes. It's gone so fast.